Welcome everyone to the hottest show on TV. We're coming to you live from Chili Stadium. And if you're looking for some excitement, then you're in the right place. Because you won't find this kind of action anywhere else. It's live, it's hot, it's spicy. It's the Pepper Power Hour. I'm your host, Carl Capsicum, joined by my broadcast journalist, Spicy Steve. And they're jam-packed in the arena tonight, Spicy Steve.
I'll tell you, Carl, I've been to the Super Bowl, I've been to the World Series, I've even been to the biggest gospel tent revival meeting on this side of the Mississippi. But there's one event that's hotter than them all, and that's the Pepper Power Hour. And we're here, Carl, and I'm fired up.
You should be, Steve. Tonight's main event pitches two of the world's hottest peppers to square off against each other. The Trinidad Scorpion puts his title on the line against the newcomer rookie pepper known as the Heartstopper. We also have some of the most unique peppers in singles competition, battling it out for the prize of the hottest pepper pod. Coming up tonight, we have these matches. Aji Cachucha takes on the Biquinho Yellow. Trinidad Perfume battles the Numex Suave. The People's Champ Jalapeno squares off against the Cherry Bomb. In the controversial cross-pollinated matchup, we have the Red Lantern Trinidad Habanero facing off against the Dragon Cayenne. The Super Chili takes on the Chupetinho. In the fight to find out who's got the sweetest heat, the Sugar Rush Peach and the Trinidad Sweet will battle it out. Also this evening, we take a closer look at the winner of the 2022 Garden Value Award, the Great Murupi. For the Eastern title, the African Fatilii turns up the heat against the longtime champ from India, the Ghost Pepper. And finally, our main event, the Heartstopper, will attempt to defeat the reigning champ of our garden, the Trinidad Scorpion. All this and more tonight on the Pepper Power Hour. Tonight's extravaganza is about to start, so let's take it down to ringside. Over to you, Tommy.
Let's keep it legal. I don't want to see any C-spitting, no stem grabbing, and let's have a good match.
Coming down the aisle, hailing from Cuba, Aji Cachucha!
Well, it's a beautiful day the Lord has made here at Chili Stadium. The fans are excited, Steve, and I hope you're ready for some spicy action. Because first up, we have the Aji Cachucha.
Gesundheit. Are you coming down with a cold, Carl?
Very funny. Now, the Aji Cachucha is a great pepper for beginners. It smells fruity and floral and tastes like candy. With relatively no heat, anybody could eat this little gem.
Oh, so you mean this pepper is for those sissies who can't take the heat?
Come on now, everybody has to start somewhere. Now the Aji Cachucha is great because it can be used in soups, chilies, salsas, and even homemade sweet jelly. The Aji Cachucha ranks in on the Scoville scale at a surprising 500.
Yeah, but what can we say about his opponent, the Biquinho Yellow?
Making his way to the ring, hailing from Brazil, Biquinho Yellow!
The Biquinho pepper, which means pointy bird beak, may be small in size, but is packed with a burst of citrus flavor.
This pepper's dangerous. Someone can lose an eye if they're not careful.
I guess that's possible. The Biquinho is great for snacking, and because of its low heat level, many people pickle this pepper.
Say that 3 times fast.
Like I was saying, it's great for snacking. The Biquinho Yellow ranks in at around 500 Scoville units. Wow, what a match! Although that little yellow pepper packed some sweet heat, it was no match for the unique flavor and practical use of the Aji Cachucha.
I still think he should have used that pointy beak of his to poke Cachucha in the eye. All is fair in heat and spice.
Is that so? Well, up next, we have what some are calling the mirror match of the century. Back down to you at ringside, Tommy.
Making his way to the ring, part of the Trinidad Pepper family, the Trinidad Perfume!
The Trinidad Perfume is yellow to light orange in color. It's a little larger than a golf ball and resembles a rolled up sock in my opinion.
Hey, I heard that this pepper got the name Perfume because it smells like the women's bathroom at the fancy restaurant down the street.
Very funny. The best part about this pepper is the crunch.
The crunch?
Yes, that's right. Along with being crunchy, it tastes like a sweet flower of the field in summer. The Trinidad Perfume ranks in at around 500 Scoville units. And there's more heat coming up after this break. Stay with us, folks.
Are you having a boring day? Feeling a little lazy and worn out?
Crank up the heat and add some spice to your life. The Pepper Power Hot Sauce turns your gloom into...
Is your coffee not cutting it?
Wake up with power!
Pay too much for gas.
Fill up your tank and blast! Grab yourself a bottle of the hottest sauce around and feel the power of the ultimate pepper! Live from Chili Stadium, we're back, and we got a barn burner coming up next.
Yeah, Carl, I can't wait for this one.
Coming down the aisle, hailing from New Mexico, Suave Orange.
The Numex Suave Orange could be one of the most unique peppers in today's competition.
It's unique, alright. I heard this pepper wound up in New Mexico for taking a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Oh, will you please stop? The Numex Suave is orange in color, and I heard it can grow up to the size of a baseball.
That's a tasty baseball.
Indeed. It smells almost like a fruity bell pepper, but some say it tastes like a sweet peach. Things are starting to heat up because this pepper is close to 1,000 on the Scoville scale. Well, talk about an evenly matched contest that was.
I'd say so. Two great competitors.
I think both of those peppers would make a great addition to anyone's garden. But what's this? Oh, here he comes now! The Jalapeno's on his way to the ring.
Coming down the aisle, he hails from Mexico, Jalapeno.
The jalapeno may in fact be the world's most popular pepper, and he is certainly a fan favorite here at the Pepper Power Hour.
Popularity is one thing, but how does it taste? That's what's important here today.
Well, it tastes great according to many. The jalapeno begins with a dark green color and eventually ripens to bright red. It's a medium-sized pod that's shaped like the tooth of a lion.
Carl, what's the deal with all those brown cracks on the outside skin? Ugh.
For once you have an educated question.
Hey now, come on.
Those cracks you see are referred to as corking, which is caused by an abundance of water combined with plenty of sunlight. This combination will cause the pepper to go on a growth spurt, resulting in corking.
Someone ought to put a cork in you.
Hey, the jalapeno tastes like a spicy bell pepper and can get up to a surprising 8,000 Scoville units.
Making his way to the ring, from the spiciest parts of the USA, the Cherry Bomb.
Now, you may expect this pepper to explode in your mouth, but don't let the name fool you, because this chili carries more of a modest boom.
Aw man, I was hoping to see some more fireworks.
Oh, we still may. The cherry bomb matures from green to dark red and averages the size of a golf ball. It has thick, meaty walls and tastes sweet and spicy.
This pepper could give a whole new taste to an ice cream sundae with a cherry bomb on top.
Okay, that's enough. Because of this pepper's mild heat, it's terrific in a variety of dishes and can be stuffed, fermented, or even pickled. The cherry bomb explodes with a Scoville level of around 5,000. Well, the fact of the matter is, the jalapeno is still the most popular pepper known the world over.
Popularity does not matter. The cherry bomb tomato pepper is still the better pepper in my book.
Well, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a grueling season for peppers this year. And before we get into our next match, let's take a look back at the events that transpired leading up to this momentous occasion. It all started last year, as the cold winter took its toll on the land.
cabin fever began to set in on the homestead. So, to combat the cold, we dug out some of our hot and spicy pepper seeds. And glory to God, it was off to the races. The seeds were germinating and beginning to sprout. They grew fast, they grew strong, and soon enough, spring was in the air and the peppers were ready to head outside. And let me tell you something, brother. They were saying their prayers, taking their vitamins, sucking in the sunlight from the sky, and pumping up the nutrients from their roots. And finally, the flowers appeared, and pollination began. It was only a matter of time before these peppers could no longer contain themselves. Their fiery flames began to burst forth from the greenhouse, just like the devil out of hell, seeking whom he may devour. And then we were blessed with an abundance of produce, and thousands of peppers infiltrated our homestead. What did we do with all these peppers? Some of them we ate fresh, but many others we canned, dehydrated, fermented, pickled, and turned into jelly. As the peppers matured, they set their sights on the biggest stage of them all, the Pepper Power Hour. And now, here we are, live and ready to witness the best of the best.
Well, let me tell you something, Pepper fans. After watching that replay over the season, I don't know if the Scorpion is any match for the Heartstopper. What do you think about it, Carl?
I think you're wrong. I disagree. I think both the Scorpion and the so-called Heartstopper will prove to be great competitors. Now, although we still don't have a history of where this Heartstopper came from, let's just hope he lives up to his name for his sake. Look, here they come now, the next contestants, back down to ringside.
Coming down the aisle, hailing from Thailand, the Dragon Cayenne Pepper.
This pungent hybrid guarantees it's going to be one hot summer. The Dragon Cayenne is by far the most versatile pepper on the roster.
Versatility is great, but what I don't understand is how this pepper is related to all the beasts in the ancient world.
Well, like the dragon, this cayenne pepper takes a long time to grow, ripening from green to yellow and finally to red. Its long curly shape sets it apart from its competitors, while providing a cooking versatility that is nearly unmatched.
Yeah, this pepper can be used in all sorts of ways. Cooked, dried, and salsas. Hey, I even use this pepper to make my famous Spicy Steve's Flamin' Dragon Spit.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
What? My hot sauce is delicious.
Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. The Dragon Cayenne rakes in at around 50,000 Scoville units.
Making his, her, them, its way to the ring, hailing from the land of confusion, Red Lantern Trinidad Habanero Pepper Plant Species.
A cross between a Red Lantern Habanero and a Trinidad Sweet, this little pepper is in the midst of an identity crisis.
One thing's for sure, even though this pepper claims to be as hot as 2 million Scoville units, his genetics tell a different story.
That makes sense. A very hot pepper, but not that hot. Similar in taste to the original habanero, this pepper is sweeter, yet stings with every bite.
I heard this lantern habanero, whatever you call it, was backstage trying to convince the other peppers he was indeed a real lantern.
Some people will go to any length for a little attention. It sounds like we need to keep the Red Lantern Trinidad Sweet Habanero in our prayers for sure. The heat level on this pepper is around 300,000.
You know something, Carl? I don't even see the Trinidad Habanero in this book at all. I'm not even sure if he got registered under the pepper code to even compete in this event tonight.
Well, either way, he's certainly a fan favorite around here. A delicious little pod that packs a punch. And next up, we have two differently matched opponents. Let's take it back to you, Tommy.
Coming down the aisle, from the United States of America, the Super Chili.
What a name! The super chili pepper, without a doubt, is one of the most prolific plants in the garden. This plant has multicolored fruits maturing from green to red, and they produce an eye-popping foliage.
But watch out! Beyond the ornamental beauty, The super chili has a shocking heat that can catch you by surprise. The plants themselves are relatively compact, so they work in smaller spaces.
They are beauties, that's for sure. But it's not all about the colors.
Let's be honest. There's a lot of spice, but very little flavor. Tastes more like a hot piece of shoe leather.
Give me a break. The super chili soars in at around 50,000 Scoville units.
Let me tell you something, Carl. The super chili doesn't have a chance against his next opponent.
Well, we're gonna find out after this short commercial break. Stay with us, folks.
Hey, darling, it's cold outside, but I'm hot. And that's why I use Pepper Power, baby.
Introducing Pepper Power Cologne for Men, infused with real pepper, so you know it's good.
Pepper Power Cologne, baby. Light somebody's heart on fire. Oh!
Pepper Power Cologne, available at your local gas station.
Making his way to the ring, from Brazil, Chupetinho!
A hotter cousin to our former contestant, the Biquinho Yellow, the Chupetinho is a beautiful looking chili plant with massive amounts of pods. When you bite into it, you get an instant burst of sweet and fruity flavor.
That's true. I gave one to my little brother, and his face turned redder than the pepper.
Well, we found that the best way to eat these peppers is fermented with garlic and onion, a tasty treat for any time of year.
The only downside is they're a pain to harvest. Just so many little pods.
Well, that is true. All in all, the chili variety is easy to grow with a medium heat. Hey, wait just a minute! The Chupetinho has called in his reinforcements!
Here come his brothers now. Get 'em, boys!
Oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, Spicy Steve, anything can happen here on the Pepper Power Hour. And folks, you stay in your seats because we've got a lot more to come.
Coming down the aisle, hailing from the mountains of Peru, the Sugar Rush Peach.
We're live from Chili Stadium, and you talk about excitement, you're talking about the Sugar Rush Peach. This long, sugary fruit is packed with sweet tropical flavors and some fire to match. A wild flavor experience for any pepper lover.
You know what, Carl? I could use a rush of sugar right now.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Because you're putting me to sleep.
I get just about enough out of you. The Sugar Rush Peach is an elongated pepper with thin walls, and it grows a lot like the Cayenne or Jalapeno pepper, producing a large amount in a short time. This is one of our favorite peppers to eat from the garden this year. The Sugar Rush Peach ranks in at around 75,000 Scoville units.
I do like this pepper, but I don't think it has a chance against his opponent, the Trinidad Sweet.
Making his way to the ring, the Trinidad Sweet!
The Trinidad Sweet is a medium-sized habanero that does have a nice sweet flavor, but the heat has no problem kicking you right in the mouth.
Yeah, don't let the name fool you. This pepper is hot.
These chilies are small with a little bit of wrinkling, but otherwise are smooth skin. The Trinidad Sweet chilies ripen from green to red and grow late into the year. Here on the Homestead, we use this pepper to make a sweet jelly with a little kick, and it's also great in fresh salsas. The Trinidad Sweet smashes the Scoville scale at around 200,000 units.
Well, that was exciting to see, and even more exciting to eat. These two peppers make a tasty salsa. While I'm enjoying this, Steve is backstage right now getting the inside scoop from the other peppers.
All right, save some of that salsa for me. Right now, I am standing here in the locker room with tonight's competitors. And as you can tell, the silence in here says it all. These peppers are dedicated, focused, and ready to deliver some heat in the ring. Back to you, Carl.
No doubt about it. Thanks, Steve.
Up next, we take an inside look at the 2022 Garden Value Award winner, the Great Moryapod. This Brazilian beauty turned out to be a genetic monster. The Great Murupi exploded into our garden with a fierce storm, raining down hundreds of peppers on just one single plant. Now, we don't know if it was our hot and steamy compost or the organic fertilizers, but one thing's for sure, this plant is a beast. The Great Murupi clocks in at around 300,000 Scoville units and is great to eat fresh or dehydrated into pepper flakes. We definitely recommend growing this plant no matter if you can take the heat or not. A value of values. So congratulations to the Great Murupi, a miraculous plant that was certainly blessed by the hand of God.
Our next match involves a class of chilies that would make your grandmother hotter than a night on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm talking about the kind of peppers you don't take home to mom. These next peppers should have a warning label. Back down to you, Tommy Tabasco.
Now, like I said earlier, keep it clean. And when you're handling these types of peppers, stay away from your eyes, your nose, and most importantly, wash your hands before you use the bathroom.
Yeah, I had to find out the hard way.
This next pepper is no joke. It is extremely hot.
Coming down the aisle from the desert of Africa, Fatilii.
Well, the Fatilii pepper is not for the weak at heart, but after you get past the stinging burn that pierces your taste buds, there is a burst of citrus, floral, and even smoky flavor. A very complex pod, to say the least.
You know, Carl, I've actually been to Africa.
Really, is that so?
Yeah, one time when I was in the desert, I got stung by what I thought was a scorpion. Turns out I accidentally stepped on a Fatilii pepper.
Oh, give me a break. The Fatilii pepper is a nasty-looking, crunchy pepper that ripens to bright red. It can be used to spice up any dish and is especially good in chili recipes. The Fatilii ranks in at around 400,000 Scoville units.
Making his way to the ring, hailing from India, Bujalokia, the Ghost Pepper.
Well, this just happens to be my favorite pepper in today's competition.
Really?
Yeah, it's a wonderful tasting pepper, and it's so hot it can even induce minor forms of euphoria.
Euphoria? Wow, I didn't realize peppers could do that.
Oh, yes, they can. The rush of endorphins and hits of dopamine are exhilarating. But besides all that, the ghost pepper has many other characteristics. And if you're strong enough to bite into one of these balls of fire, you'll be struck with an intense fruity and smoky flavor.
Take my word for it, ladies and gentlemen. When I ate one of these, I was sweating, my eyes began to water, and I had uncontrollable hiccups. I couldn't believe it.
I can believe it. The good news, Steve, is that the burning usually subsides after 30 minutes. The ghost pepper lights the Scoville scale on fire at around 1 million Scoville units.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event.
Well, what do you think about it, Steve?
Like I told you at the beginning of the broadcast, Carl, the Heartstopper will be crowned the new champion of the Pepper Power Hour.
Well, that still remains to be seen.
Coming down the aisle, the Pepper Power Champion, Trinidad Scorpion.
Finally, it's the main event, and I'm reminded of what the great King Solomon once said. There is nothing better for a person than to eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil. This is from the hand of God, and that's exactly what this next match reminds me of.
Yeah, you better make your peace with God before you bite into one of these peppers.
Amen to that, brother. The scorpion pepper resembles the appearance of the stinging creature that it's named after.
That's right, a dark red pod with a sharp pointy tail. One mean-looking chili.
At first bite, the scorpion peppers don't seem too bad, but the heat builds and builds into a deep burn. Once you're past that, you can detect sweet floral notes followed up by a hint of fruity citrus. It may shock you to know that the capsaicin level is so high it can actually burn your skin.
Ouch!
The Scorpion pepper burst through the scale at over 1.2 million Scoville units.
Well, the time has finally come for all you fans out there to see what real heat looks like.
Making his way to the ring, from parts unknown, the Heart Stopper!
Taking the world by storm, the Heartstopper is a result from years of cross-pollination. The Heartstopper resembles the length of the ghost pepper and the crunchiness of the Fatilii, yet it also has the same sharp pointy tail of the Scorpion and the Reaper.
Hey Carl, don't forget to mention that it tastes like pure gasoline.
We're honestly not sure where it came from. Some say it's a cross between a ghost pepper and a Carolina Reaper, while others say it was conceived by a spiritual, miraculous birth.
Yeah, but that's all speculation. What we do know is that the Heartstopper acquired its name for a very interesting reason.
That's right, Steve. And joining us now is the person who gave this pepper its name. She's the first person to ever try it and live to tell about it. Pamela, welcome to the Pepper Power Hour.
Thanks for having me, Carl.
We're glad you could be here. Now tell us, Pamela, how did all this come about?
Well, Carl, I was walking in the garden in the cool of the day when out of nowhere a bright light shined so bright from beyond the garden. As I came closer, I saw a pepper plant that I had never seen before. So I reached out my hand and took a bite. Suddenly, the sky began to darken and a searing pain ripped across my chest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was at that moment I realized my heart had briefly stopped. When I came to, I felt like a new person inside.
Wow, talk about a hot and spicy story. Thanks for joining us, Pamela.
I told you, Carl, the Heartstopper is nothing to joke about. Some say it holds the power of life and death.
Well, that could be true. Well, what's that? I've just been told Tommy Tabasco is at ringside with the winner right now.
The winner of the match, and new Pepper Power Champion, the Heartstopper!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Heartstopper is your new champion. I told you right when I came in this building, and I told you this afternoon. I even knew it this morning right when I woke up. The Heartstopper lived up to his name.
He certainly did. I guess you were right. All's fair in heat and spice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for the Pepper Power Hour. For Tommy Tabasco, Spicy Steve, I'm your host, Carl Capsicum. And remember, stay spicy. Get out of there.